Every football era has that one coach who explodes onto the scene, turning chaos into brilliance overnight. For a while, that coach was Hansi Flick. Bayern's treble, Germany's revival, Barcelona's rebirth. Each story started the same: fireworks in season 1, and each one started to fade the next year. So what's happening here? Does Hansi Flick's football burn too bright, too fast? Let's dig into what I like to call the Flick effect, why his teams peak early, then crash hard. The system that never sleeps, Flick's football is simple to describe, but brutal to play. He wants high intensity, high line, high risk. Every player presses. Every player moves at the same tempo. Lose the ball, win it back within seconds. When it works, it looks like poetry. Fast, ruthless, unstoppable. But when it breaks badly. The team stretches, gaps appear, and one missed press can turn into a goal conceded. That's the first clue to our theory. Flick's system works perfectly only when everyone's at 100%. The moment fitness or focus drops, the whole mechanism starts to crack. The cost of intensity. Now let's talk about what this style costs. First, the physical cost. Constant pressing means constant sprinting. Muscle fatigue builds up. Recovery windows shrink. Small injuries become big ones. And suddenly, your best players are missing. Then, the tactical cost. The press needs perfect timing. One player pressing late or too early, and the whole chain collapses. Opponents. Learn how to exploit the high line or drag the defense out of shape. Put both together. Tired legs and broken rhythm. And the magic of year 1 fades fast in year 2. History repeats itself. Let's walk through the timeline at Bayern. Flick's debut was dreamlike. Champions League, domestic titles, domination. But then came the next season. Injuries, fatigue, and public tension with the board. By the end, Flick was frustrated, the squad was drained, and the era was over. At Germany, the story repeated. A strong start after Joachim Löw, then a sharp decline. The World Cup disaster against Japan was the breaking point. Players like Gundogan later hinted the system was too demanding, especially with so little time to train between matches. And now, at Barcelona, déjà vu again. Season 1? Perfect. League title, domestic cups, big wins over Real Madrid. Season 2? Key injuries, shock defeats, questions about the high line, and growing noise from critics. Different clubs, different players, but the same movie keeps playing. Why year 2 falls apart. There's the pattern. Flick's first season rides on freshness, hunger, and surprise. Year 2 brings fatigue, adaptation, and expectation. Opponents study the system. They find pockets behind the high line, force one-on-ones and punish late presses. Meanwhile, the same players are covering 11 months of non-stop intensity. Look at Barca now. Yamal's pubic injury, Raphinha's hamstring, Balde's muscle issues, and a keeper out long-term. Rotation becomes impossible, and tired legs can't sustain the same press, even tactically. We've seen the breakdowns. One misstep from Lamine Yamal in the PSG match opened space for Mendes. One chain reaction later, and the whole press fell apart. That's how fragile Flick's system is. 1 second late, and it's chaos. The deeper issue. But the issue isn't just football. It's management. Flick's system needs full club support, proper depth, recovery structure, and patience. At Bayern, he clashed with the board over transfers. At Germany, he didn't get enough training days. At Barcelona, the finances limit depth and rotation. When the board can't match the manager's needs, cracks grow faster. And in a high-press system, cracks become goals. It's not that Flick's football is wrong, it's that it needs everything to be right. The players, the fitness staff, the transfer strategy, all must move as one. What happens next? So, where does this leave Barcelona? The warning signs are real, but it's not over. Flick has proven he can adapt. After last season's dip in November, he tweaked the structure, rotated smarter, and Barça came roaring back. He's capable of evolving again. The club, though, has to meet him halfway. Invest in depth, manage youth minutes, back the system, or risk another burnout. Because Flick's football wins fast. But it also costs fast. And if the lessons of Bayern and Germany aren't learned, Barca could be next on that list. So maybe it's not a curse. Maybe it's just the price of playing football at full speed. Hansi Flick's teams will always give us breathtaking moments. And yes, the crashes too, but that's what makes him fascinating. A genius of intensity, always dancing on the edge between brilliance and burnout. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts on Flick's tactics, and subscribe for more deep dives just like this. Until next time, this is Football History, where we keep football talk real, smart, and drama-free.